Today I'm presenting our twins project that we finished in 12 months and constructed for the most competitive market, which meant facing obstacles like rising prices, low contractor availability, and 5-month container delivery instead of the expected 3 months. Hi guys, we just finished one of the most exciting kinds of projects to be a part of. Twins. These two Scandinavian-style houses are mostly similar, but of course they have their differences, just like human twins. It was a long 12 months, and we ran into about as many problems as the universe had to throw at us. We managed to always find solutions and to finish it on time. We even stayed within an estimated budget, and now here we have a unique product that we call twin houses. I actually want to begin with the story of my move to America 3 years ago when I built my first home. My clients, Michelle and Joel, invited me to a barbecue party. They introduced me to their friends, Funny and Patrick. They are amazing and they have 2 kids who are twins. We got acquainted, and they asked 2 houses that were similar, but just a little bit different, like our kids. And I was like, yeah, of course. We spent months designing before starting construction. We decided to take the Scandinavian style as the basis because it's accurate, minimalistic, and works great for the natural area where we build our houses. We had to make sure not to spoil the beautiful landscape by cutting down the trees. We wanted to build our houses in a natural setting, without turning the land into a desert. Of course, we thought through 100 possible variants before settling on the simple forms that you can see here now. This form has a gabled roof that comes down with vertical walls, which is how this straight line is formed. We actually put in a column that runs from the roof's center to distinguish this design. We also decided to separate these lines with different colors and tones, which added to the distinct appearance. Looking at these houses, you can see they're pretty similar, but their fronts are different. One has a light brown color, and the other one is white. This vertical distinguishing column, or so-called address column, also has 2 different colors. We even use these colors for mailboxes. One is white, and the other is brown, the color of wood. So we've got similar yet slightly different houses, like twins. They're mostly identical, but you learn to tell them apart by small physical differences. Let's talk about some of the nitty-gritty details and the challenges we faced during this project. Something I didn't expect but had to deal with was an echo in the entryway that was produced by the protruding walls there. Don't get me wrong. This is a really cool effect that you'll see specially produced in operas and theaters of all kinds. Let me show it to you now. When I'm standing here, it's like we're in a theater. Do you hear that? The sound resonates, even if you want to sing Rent up and down the halls of your home. What are you waiting for? Come on in. Every house project begins with planning. You have to decide on room locations and movement directions. This is not a large home. It's around 2,200 square feet. We knew we wanted to include a master bedroom on the first floor, so that's exactly what we did. We also constructed a small balcony where you can drink coffee without going down the ground floor, just a small French balcony. We also added a master closet, as the master bedroom is pretty big. The closet is equipped with everything you'd expect: shoes, clothes, etc. We always include as much as we can. Of course, you can see here that we used our favorite Ukrainian-produced doors. In this house, we use a different design compared to previous ones we've used that had black stripes. These doors have translucent stripes. Here's the master bathroom. It contains a shower with a bench, an ordinary cabinet countertop, and a window with 2 types of opening, for washing and airing. The window divides the countertop into 2 parts, male and female, or any other setup house owners would need. Through the window, you can view your yard, where you can plant trees and place flowers to sweeten the view. Now, let's get a look at the living space. While we're walking through, pay attention to the powder room and laundry. Both rooms are essential to the house. We have located the powder room at the very entry so your guests can visit it if they need to. The laundry room is also placed near the entry. It's very convenient because this puts it near the master bedroom. You can easily drop your clothes off to wash them if needed. And now the main room. We try to make the main room closer to the backyard so that the owners can detach the outside world when they come back home. With this room being located here, the owners really get to enjoy the view of the opposite side of their yard. As I already told you, the house is small, 2,200 square feet, and we wanted to make the space bigger. So we have added what's called the second light. What this really is that we cut out part of the ceiling and install extra lighting, which enlarges the space here and makes it feel roomier. When you look at this room, I want you to imagine a TV and a fireplace and sofas opposite the fireplace for the family to sit comfortably and rest. There's a kitchen point on the other side, with a pretty big island relative to the room's size. We've got a kitchen block with a stove, a hood, and several boxes. There's no pantry, which is why all these boxes are here. The reason there are so many is because we want the owners to be able to keep dishes, tableware, food reserves, and anything else they might usually put in a pantry. So these boxes serve as a pantry. Here, close to the kitchen space, is where the table will be. We also built in a small closet. As I said, there is no pantry, but the closet can be used to store whatever the owners would like to keep there. We use space underneath the staircase for more storage, which is extremely convenient for homeowners. We know our clients want to save money, so we prioritize that. Let's move to the second floor and finish talking about planning. There are 2 bedrooms and an office on the second floor. We used a high ceiling because of the second lighting, which actually just added even more to the feeling of having plenty of space. Nobody wants to feel crowded or cramped in their home. Have you ever lived in an apartment or house with low ceilings? Besides the problem of hitting your head on the light fixtures, low ceilings change the atmosphere of a room. The additional light we used in this project makes our vision longer and the house taller. It also makes it easier to see what's going on downstairs. There's a terrace exit off this corridor. It's really cool. I'll show it to you later. We use a similar type of exit in one of the bedrooms up here. Here you can see this second exit leading out to the terrace. These extra exits make it easy to step out and take in the amazing view outside. Here, everything is simple. We've got 2 big bedrooms. Well, big for America anyway. When I first came here, I was surprised that kids' rooms are so small in America. We managed to make them a little bigger in this house. Every room has its closet and Jack and Jill bathroom, which is what we call a through-passage bathroom that joins 2 rooms. We haven't fixed a bath here, only a shower. And we set up the cabinet, which is divided by the window. There's a beautiful view outside with lots of trees. So, if you take one more look, you can see we have 2 nice large bedrooms connected by a bathroom. From here, we can head over to the secret room, the office. You know, since COVID hit, the needs of homeowners have changed so much. People need and want to work from home. A lot of people don't even want to go into the office anymore. I've talked with several IT workers who say that they only go to the office occasionally. To coordinate with their time and otherwise, they prefer to work from home. The home office, which has existed for a long time, is turning into a necessity. The office we constructed in this house is small, but nice and bright with big windows in the office. All the light in here makes it pretty much impossible to fall asleep on top of a budget report. There's also a window here so that you can see anybody who comes out front to visit you. Beyond the planning stage, we faced plenty of challenges during construction. The first one, as always, was deciding on terms. We originally planned to build these houses over the course of 9 or 10 months. However, we deliver a lot of our materials from Europe and Ukraine, which means we ran into problems with the container delivery delays. February 22nd, just 2 days before the war in Ukraine started, our container filled with furniture and other important materials entered the port of Odessa. The container was stuck in Odessa for weeks. We couldn't get at it, and it seemed like there was nothing to be done about that. It was a real challenge. I managed to move it to Europe within a month and get it sent out to us from there. As a result of that delay, though, our wait was extended to 5 months, which is significantly longer than the standard 3-month delivery term. We have a trade secret for you. If you deliver your products or equipment through Houston, there is a jam in Houston. So when a ship is anchored in the discharge queue, it takes 3 to 4 weeks for it to be discharged. When our container was in Houston, we thought we were finally in the clear. We figured we would get the container and finish the houses within the agreed 10-month term. The container was stuck in Houston for a month. A whole month! It was seriously discouraging. When we got it, we were late. Our contractors couldn't start work immediately. We finished the house within 12 months, as agreed in our contract. The second challenge we had to deal with on this project is the rising prices in Austin. Honestly, over the last year, this has been a problem all across America. There's been an average 22% rise in material and equipment prices on the market in the last year. I spoke with Austin builders who told me that their expenses rose by 30%. The same changes impacted us. We spend 20 to 30% more on materials and work compared to what we spent this time last year. I can give you a few specific examples of things that left me shell-shocked this year. I had one electricity contractor give me two very different bills for two houses. For this house, I owed him $18,000. He spent 2 weeks doing basic electric work on this house and then came to me and said, "Igor, I can't do similar work for the second house at the same price. The cost of materials has risen, and my workers should be paid more. So I will suffer losses, and the first house's work has proven that." So he raised the cost to $24,000. That's a $6,000 difference in just 2 weeks. A similar situation happened when we had somebody come in to put in the windows. He did the first house for $3,500. When we came to him 2 weeks later to make a plan for the second house, he refused to do it at the same price. He was busy, he said, but because we had a good relationship, he agreed to do the work for $4,000, even though he usually would have charged $5,000. Prices rose every week in the online regime. It was a big challenge for us because we had a budget to stick to. I couldn't go beyond that budget. And while the budget did grow some over the course of the project, it didn't keep up with the rising costs of materials and labor. The initial budget from a year and a half ago went up by 17% by the time we finished construction. So we did actually manage to stay within the budget while keeping the quality and terms. You might be wondering why I'm telling you all of this. Here's the thing. You can always try to find somebody who will do the work at a lower price. But those kinds of deals take time and can end up pushing construction projects from a 12-month plan to a year and a half, or even 2 whole years. I've heard that less expensive contractors have longer queues, which means you're pretty much guaranteed to be left waiting around. You may find a less expensive contractor, and your budget will rise not to 17%, but 13 to 15%. But you will lose time, and time is money. So in the end, you aren't saving as much as you may think. We chose to pay the additional money to our original contractors because we wanted our client to be able to move in and start getting his return on investment as soon as possible. Beyond prices, working with contractors comes with a whole set of challenges. When you negotiate a schedule with them, especially when you're trying to get a house built within that 9 to 10 month time frame, you need to create a very strict schedule. When the workers groups come together, for example, plumbers with electricians or painters with plinth fixers, their work overlaps. What we have found is that they actually set each other's work back. For example, painters can spoil railings or plinths, or for example, leave paint on floors or windows. It's really painful to walk onto the site and realize you have to replace a window that was just installed because 2 teams were scheduled to work in the wrong order. Even when they cover windows with a blue film, they still manage to leave some paint on them. You end up pouring more time into cleaning or replacing aspects of your project, which again is time-consuming and frustrating. Trust me when I say you don't want to end up here. When you work with a contractor, be careful about scheduling. These 2 objects construction has proved this truth for me. It's better to agree on their work in the beginning, focusing on how they will work and considering other contractors' finished work. For example, fixed windows should be covered. Often, contractors work upon their own case and policy, so they can come and paint your beautiful windows with white color or newly set floors. You should track this and agree on the policy and rules they should follow while they're on site. If you don't, there will be problems. Like with kids, agree with your contractors on the rules, entry and exit stages, what they should cover, and what they need to be careful around. There are things you might not even consider but that are extremely important, like where your workers should eat and drink while on site, and if they should be smoking near the house they're working on. Put up signs as reminders to the workers about any rules you've established. Your foreman should be keeping an eye on contractors to make sure they don't turn your project to hell. If you set rules and take some basic steps to make sure everyone follows them, You'll avoid polishing, clearing, or even repairing the elements they've spoiled during construction. You'll thank me later. See you soon to show you more of our projects. Subscribe to our channel. You'll find information in the description below. Good luck, my friends!